I just got done smoking a bowl, and I'm just like, yeah, this ain't so bad. And then I start to hear it. After I got rid of Mike, I hit Arizona. I had never been to Vegas, and I was trying to avoid Vegas like the plague. Didn't want nothing to do with it. I went to Flagstaff, Arizona, and in Flagstaff, I tried to get work at the tattoo shop and at the strip club, and just inadvertently was there at the right time or the wrong time or whatever time you want to call it. And the high power fucking, probably meth, I would have to guess. The high power meth distributors for the city there in Flagstaff. There was some connection with the strip club, the guy that ran the strip club, and this tattoo shop, because first I went in to get work at the strip club, and that guy was there, said, no, I don't need anything. So then I was in the tattoo shop. Actually, wasn't in the tattoo shop looking for work, now that I remember right. I was in the tattoo shop just looking, just hanging out, but wasting time looking at their photos and just talking to them and stuff. And so I was in there kind of in the corner a little bit looking through the thing when that dude from the strip club came in, and then he started trying to talk in like fucking code that they had never talked in before. So he starts asking all these questions that are fucking blatantly obvious, fucking asking questions about drugs. Hey, those starters come in yet? What the fuck does the guy that runs the fucking strip club need starters from? And what does the guy that runs tattoos from have starters for? Come on. And the fucking dude running the strip club, he looked the part of the meth guy. I mean, he just looked straight out of fucking meth land. I couldn't get a job there. But that's where I learned about youth hostels, which was cool because before that, whole concept was just camping, right? I was out in Flagstaff, Arizona, and I was in a camping store, and the dude in the camping store told me that in Arizona, you could camp for a month anywhere on public land as long as you are 1 mile off a road. I was like, sweet. I could totally stop burning money that way. I'll just be camping and such. I head on out into the woods outside of Flagstaff, drive on a road, a little trail type of road that just took off of the side of the road, and watched my odometer, got a mile out, pulled over, and found a little spot and started camping. And I spent all the time there, like gathering a big pile of wood and setting up a tent and clearing the area for the tent. Then it got dark, spent the night, first night, and then the second night, I'd been there all day. And the night before, I could have swore I heard something like rustle around outside the tent or something. I was walking around the whole time when I got out there with the shoulder holster, with the 9mm Smith & Wesson Sigma on a little holster there. And I had a Chinese-made, basically AK-47, but it was chambered in a 223 round. And I had a little 380 pistol as well. It was called a Makarov, which was a Russian gun, and as soon as Russia opened up, then a flood of cheap Russian guns started flooding. And I mean, it was like a Walther PPK knockoff for like $110 or something. I mean, just ridiculously cheap. And then I had like a Mossberg or something pistol shotgun. So I was like traipsing around out there with the shoulder holster and like the AK slung like some kind of army man or something out there collecting firewood. I'm sitting there now. I've got like a 40 ouncer of some like probably cheap malt liquor or something. I've got a bowl of crappy Mexican weed, camping food, prepare hot water type of thing maybe. I'm sitting there. I got this big ass fire. I mean, it's freaking huge. Bonfire style, right? And I'm sitting on a cooler, and I got my foot up on a cooler, and I'm just kind of kicked back with my foot up on this cooler, just kind of sitting there. And I got my 40 ouncer in one hand, and I just got done smoking a bowl, and I'm just like, yeah, this ain't so bad. And then I start to hear it. Thud, 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 thud. It's coming from over there, just like I was some sort of trained motherfucker or something. Like a autopilot. I literally am sitting there with the hand on a 40 ouncer, the left hand, and I just was like, whop, and started shooting at it, you know, because in the middle of the night, something's running at you and growling. Fucking, yeah, run or shoot, or pull your knife or whatever you happen to have, because this fucking thing, I did not have any idea what it was. No clue. All I could see was a white dot. That was it. A white dot, and it was moving at me freaking fast. I had about no time to process this information. I'm like, oh, gee, I wonder what that is over there. No. Something's fucking running at you and growling. And it's about, I think it was about 15 feet away when I could see the white dot, right? Whop, bam, 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 I think I shot 4 shots, and then I proceeded to freak the fuck out. Basically like, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? What the fuck? You know, freaking the fuck out. Like, shit, some fucking thing just came running at me, growling in the middle of the night. I'm fucking freaked out. So I gather all my shit out of the tent, that I, like my sleeping bag and whatever I had in there that I needed, and got in the van and shut the fucking door. I was not gonna see if it had a friend. The next day rolls around. I was on kind of like almost there was like a kind of a road that I pulled off of, and then I kind of pulled off of another road. I wouldn't say road, you know, just a path that people have driven on in the past. So I start to follow the blood trail. And so I was literally on this road, this little path road, and the thing came out from like over here-ish. And so all these walking all the way, and it just turned out to be right here at the end of this road. And what it was a dog, and I think it was rabid. But I'm not a professional, but it didn't look right. So, I mean, it had some shit going on, and so anyway, I think I hit it twice, like it shots down its body. So I was standing there with a fucking AK-47 and a shoulder holster next to a dead dog when this fucking truck comes up in the middle of nowhere, which I thought it was the middle of nowhere, but well, here's a truck. And these people, well, of course, they pull up and stop. I'm like, oh fuck. Now, mind you, I'm on the run from the fucking feds in my mind, which I don't think the feds like gave two shits and they weren't fucking like, where is he? We're gonna find him. They're just like, when they catch up with him, we'll get him. We'll talk to him. So that's their attitude. I wasn't a fucking violent criminal that was running around hurting people, so they were gonna fucking put a bunch of effort into fucking tracking me down. And there was hardly any loss. So, anyway, these people were fucking squirrel hunters. I didn't know that was a thing. So, the squirrel hunters, like, yeah, you got yourself a dog. Like, so of course I had to tell them the story. I was just some fucking crazy person out there hunting dogs or whatever. I'm pretty sure they like agreed with me though that it looked like the dog had rabies or something. And so they're like, well, make sure you go report that to the fucking sheriff or something, you know, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh yeah, for sure. They left, and I went and packed my shit and got the F out of there so quick. And this was my whole plan, was to be out and camping and for, you know, just this whole long amount of time to save money and stop burning through money, and, you know. And then the first time I go camping, like, I'm attacked by a rabid dog. But then today, out of the property, 2 dogs just randomly show up there. Like, they look pretty wild. They had collars, but they looked a little skinny. Like maybe they were broke free and hadn't been fed in a while. But anyway. So yeah, I split. That was the end of that camp and trying to camp. And after that, I went on to staying in youth hostels. Stay tuned. Hey, don't forget, sign up for our Patreon and help support me. Do cool stuff. And don't forget to ring the bell icon. Like this video and share it with your peeps.